internet users, my name is Adriana and today I'm here to tell you guys about my February TBR. I don't really like doing TBRs because I feel like sometimes they're repetitive, especially if you do a TBR and then you stick to it and then your wrap up is basically the same video as your TBR. I also feel like it's making promises that you don't really know if you're going to keep because life is unpredictable, especially as an adult. Time just is not a reliable thing. Also because 95% of the time I don't have a plan. I'm reading with the wind. That made no sense, but I'm going where the wind takes me. Most of the time I'm just reading whatever the hell I want to read for whatever reasons I want to read. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to what I'm reading. But then there are rare months like this February when I know exactly what I want to be reading, and I actually am going to be kind of doing a little bit of theme. These are the books that I want to read in February, and I will be telling you about them. The first book I want to talk about is one that I will be continuing in February because I started it in January. So in February I will be continuing The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. So this is a classic dystopian novel which is really focused on kind of like the near future, and it's really a society that is heavily Christian based and there's a strong patriarchal hand. So the main character is Offred, and she is a handmaiden, and the handmaiden's job is to serve the man of the household and have his babies. Like literally that is her only job. This book is incredible and I am so glad we're reading it in my fiction class. I'm loving it this time around. It is so meticulously written and it is absolutely amazing and mind-blowing and jarring. The next book on my TBR is also a reread, and it's also for my fiction writing class, which is what we're reading The Handmaid's Tale in, and so I will be rereading The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. We have to do a novel analysis in that class, and I knew exactly which book I was going to do. I'm not really going to say much about this. I'm pretty sure you know what it's about. It is a World War II historical fiction novel. It's just a beautiful novel, and I really can't wait to reread it. It's going to be so satisfying. The next book that I want to talk about, with any luck, I will have started it at the end of January. I'm filming this video and we're still in January, so pre-filming. That book is Winter's Tale by Mark Halperin, which I am so just excited and ready to devour. This is a huge book and I am prepared for it. So this story is about a middle-aged Irish thief named Peter Lake who breaks into the most wealthiest, hugest mansion on the Upper West Side. But while he's in there trying to rob the family, he realizes that the daughter of the house is still in the house, and so she catches him and they end up falling in love. This is not a spoiler because it's in the synopsis, but she has like a fatal disease, and so their love actually drives Peter to stop time, to kind of write things. This just sounds like it's gonna be one of those books that is my book because it has that like fantasy edge and it has the romance and I just can't wait to get into it, you guys. And the next book that I'm going to talk to you guys about is for the Sarah Dessen Book Club, which was started by Bookables. I will leave all that information in the down bar. I don't know for sure because, as I said, I am filming this video in January, but I am part of the Goodreads group and I can see the polls, and I think the clear winner for February is going to be this book. So it will be Dreamland by Sarah Dessen. I believe this is a story about a girl named Caitlin who starts a relationship with this guy named Rogerson, but he is really bad news. He's like a drug dealer and all that stuff. I think from what I can remember, I read this book a very long time ago and I do not remember very much about what it's about. I will be very happy to revisit it for the first time in the Sarah Dessen Book Club this February. The next two books are ebooks, and this is kind of where, you know how I said I had a little bit of a theme? This is kind of where it comes in. I figure February is the month of love. You know, when you think of February, you think of like pink, you think of Valentine's Day and romance and all that kind of stuff. And so I had a couple of contemporaries that I've been wanting to read for a long time, but I couldn't really justify reading them. And I kept thinking to myself, well, you know, romantic contemporary books are kind of like summer reads because, I don't know, we are programmed again to think of romance during summer for some reason. But you know what? February is the month of love, which gives me the perfect excuse to read these next two books. And the first one is My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I've heard a lot about this book. I've heard it's just a cute, gooey, mushy, fun, awesome really great romance. I don't know much about it. I think the main female character kind of has a rocky family relationship, and she's really envious of the family next door, who are really tight-knit and loud and crazy and all in your business and really loving to one another. I think she finds herself hanging out next door a lot more than she thought she would, and I believe she falls for one of the guys, obviously, who lives next door. It's called My Life Next Door. I just heard really good things about it, and I'm ready to jump into it and feel the butterflies and just have a lot of fun with it. So yeah. The last book that I want to talk about, which is also romancy, is Just One Day by Gail Forman. I've been wanting to read this for the longest time. I believe it's about a girl who's taking a trip abroad in Europe. I don't know exactly where. She just decides to have this crazy whirlwind day, and she runs into this guy, and they have this amazing day together. And then the rest of the book after that one day is kind of about them being separated, and it just sounds really interesting. And while it does sound like there's going to be a lot of romance and fun and all that, it also sounds like it's going to be contemplative and self-reflective and all that. I've heard good things about Gail Forman. I've heard good things about Just One Day, and I really started wanting to read it, of course, when the companion or sequel novel Just One Year came out last year. So I just had my eye on that book for a long time and just never felt like the right time, but I am making February the right time, the month of love. We're gonna love love. So technically there are 3 books in my TBR which fit that little theme about romance and love, and the first one, of course, like I said, was Winter's Tale, and then My Life Next Door, and then Just One Day. I have a few extra backup books that I have in my arsenal, like if I finish these, which I don't know if I will, because it's a very intimidating pile. If by some gracious chance I do, I have some others in mind. I don't really want to share them now. They'll be a surprise if I get to them. But yeah, so it looks like February is going to be a really good reading month. So it would be great to hear from you if you know about any of these books on a personal level. Thank you guys for joining me and watching, and I will catch you on the flip side of the page.